get a new yoga mat from Printful. The first design we requested to see was not looking so great. It was like double printed and you could see like a blur. And because it's watercolor style, it looked even worse. And I really wanted to see how is my design looking like, because it's a childish drawing style like. And we actually, even if it had some mistakes, my son really liked it. So I reached out to Printful and I said, okay, I would really like to see this product. How can we fix this? And they were very nice and said, okay, we can see that it shouldn't have passed quality check and we will take care of this. So they prepared another product for me and it arrived yesterday. We used it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, and I loved it really much because it can stay on the floor, it doesn't move. You can vacuum it very easy because downstairs we have a lot of dirt. Usually we have a sand box outside, so we drag that sand all the time. So my yoga mat is always dirty with sand, so it's easy to be cleaned. So that's something I really like. And also the fact that it doesn't move, you don't trip on it on the floor, it's a plus. But I really want to see this product also in Europe because it takes a long time to get here. And even if I didn't have to pay for this second one, I did have to pay customs, it was around 12 euro. So is it worth it to pay 23, I think is the product itself, and yeah, 34 euro, 35 euro, I'm not sure how much I have it on my store. I think yes, depends what you like to do. If you want to create your own, you can always check out the Printful page and you can do that. So let's see, they pack it like this. It's a very nice package. It's sturdy, right? It's a bit heavy, but that's not a big deal. And I was so excited to see it yesterday that I don't have anything now to open it with here, I guess. Just tape. I really hope this came out properly this time. Oh, I think I already can see already and it looks good. Let's see. Oh no. But yeah. I don't know, maybe it's very difficult to print this or not. I don't know what to tell you. They print it very fast, so usually first time it took a long time to get to be printed, but this time maybe because they wanted to, it comes like this, so you can wear this on your shoulder, but it's really heavy. It has this material, this is how it's made. I already see that it's looking much better. I really like. I want to open it to see how it looks. So this is how you would have it. So let's pull this up. Oh yes. Oh, my back is not very happy for this. Now I can really see the colors and yeah, it's much better. So this is the product that it came out. It's so cute. The print came out great. There were still maybe a bit, but maybe this is something, it happens when they print this type of product. I don't know, maybe I should try another type of design, but it came much better. Are you using any print on demand yoga mats from somewhere? Is it something that you specifically love? I think this is a very nice product also for young children because you can sport with them, and this is why I liked it, to have it colored. And now definitely me and my son are gonna use this. So just remember, sometimes these products are made by people and they can come with mistake, but Printful is always nice enough. If you reach out to them and explain them the problem, they would always try to figure out how to help you. So in this case for me, it was not really like free because I had to pay again customs, but it was worth it because I really wanted to see how my product looks like, how the colors are looking, and this time it came nice. Thank you for watching and stay sharp. Let's look quickly at the yoga mat. Yeah, we have here the price with Printful Growth is 42.29 euros including VAT, so that means without the tax. If you're a business owner, when you order your products for testing, you're exempted of tax. So from B2B you have no tax included, so it's about 34 and a bit euro. With Printful Growth, that means without a subscription you would pay 46.59 euro, inclusive the tax. Yeah. Estimated delivery. This is something that you would get trouble, yeah, because I think this is something to consider. Everybody wants a product tomorrow. So 14 to 19 days. Shipping starts at 28 euro, which is quite expensive. The more items you have, I think, let's quickly check here because we have shipping. The next item for the Netherlands will be 279. Oh no, sorry. This is for United States, for example. It comes in 11 business days, so not a big difference, maybe a week, right? 12 to 65 for first item, and the next item is 279. Imagine. And in the Netherlands, let's say, what was it? Also 279. So with the next item, because it doesn't get more heavy. Anyway, it's quite expensive, the shipping, but also the duration. So I'm not sure how can we justify, like, would you be able to add somehow the shipping in the product because the product's already expensive by itself. And let's look a bit now at the quality of the product. Personally, I like it very much. So as I said in the video earlier, we do use it for 2 to 3 weeks now. I'm not sure when it came. The first one, there were some issues with the printing, right? And they sent this one quite fast. I think less than 2 weeks I received it already. Remember, you also, if you're in another part of the world, like you're in the US, you're also gonna pay customs. I'm in Europe, right? So I pay around 12 euro customs. So it's getting quite an expensive product. This is the side that is anti-slip. It's a rubber bottom, and that's true. I never saw my son running over it and tripping because I have it in the living room just laying on the floor. It's very easy to clean, even if it's so soft on top. Yeah, I saw some comments that someone was complaining that it might be too hard to clean, but maybe I cannot imagine what is he doing that's getting so dirty, or yeah. Anyway, the design is written with dye ink on paper and then transferred directly onto the product with heat. And this might explain why my first product that came that we tested was a bit like with a shadow, so probably they didn't put it first time properly and they realized after, or it moved while pressing. I don't know how exactly this process works. Then the fabric thickness, I don't have anything to complain. I think it's thick enough. It's actually a bit heavy side, but yeah, you should be able to carry a yoga mat if you are exercising, right? So it's not like you're carrying 2 kilos or something. Also other people say it's not soft enough. What exactly do you need? You need a mattress? Do you need a topper? Yeah, this is not for gymnastics, right? This is to do yoga, to do some stretching. I spend quite some time on the floor nowadays because of my back issues. Actually a couple of times a day, and then I'm drawing also, laying on the floor. I'm not sleeping right here, though probably I could sleep on my back on this yoga mat. I don't know, that's my personal opinion and my experience for the last couple of weeks using the one downstairs. Let's see, these are the available mock-up styles. So there are quite some. I mean, you don't need more than this. I think you can easily add this. They are really nice. Really nice. What you have to keep in mind when you create your mock-up, let's see if I go to my dashboard and let's check the product templates. I have quite some product yoga mat. Because I'm pretty sure this one is that. Let's edit. Takes a bit of time. Okay. One, two. Oh, what happened here? So this is the mock-up, and some people were complaining that on the mock-up you can see an entire image, like how you print it if you look here. And if you've seen also in my video, it looks like it was cropped out of it. So that's maybe something to keep in mind. I don't know if Printful is gonna fix this or not, but this shows how important are when you test a new design, you can order a sample to see how is this gonna print, the colors, how does it fit into, because I can say also here should be more available on top and more on the side, because my cloud now is cut off on the side, on both sides, and definitely my mock-up is not cut off. So that's an issue with the mock-ups, right? It's not really reality, and I'm thinking if a client would have an issue with this, can someone be that difficult to think that it has to be perfectly cut around? I really don't know. I wouldn't even know I know this. First time, the first product came, it was even more, and I think on the top was a bit. So this is a bit worrying because someone pays so much money. Let's say you have someone in the Netherlands gonna order my product, 46 euro. Let's see, if I add it to my store, add to store, just to quickly calculate the property to mock-up, because I don't know how much would they say to charge it for. So 34.95 without the tax, right? We put, let's say this is 35, and I want to increase retail price by 65%. Set, yeah, so I have also a design, right? Margin, let's say 58.75. It's a nice number. So let's say 58.75, and then they have to pay 28 euro for shipping, and then also they have to pay customs around 12 euro. I'm not sure if it customs, it's actually based on, let's check quickly. Let's talk to ChatGPT. Hi, I need some help with how is custom calculated. For example, if I have from Printful something ordered from US, like a yoga mat of I buy it for 60 euro and shipping is 28 euro. I want to know how much would I pay customs. How is the customs calculated in the Netherlands for something that comes? Is it based on how heavy it is it based off the price? How is it calculated?
In the Netherlands, customs duties for items imported from outside the European Union are primarily calculated based on the value of the goods and the shipping costs, not the weight. Here's a general overview of how customs duties are calculated. 1. Customs value. The customs value is the total cost of the item, which includes the purchase price, in your case, 60 euros, and the shipping costs, 28 euros. So the customs value would be 88 euros. 2. Customs duty. This is a percentage of the customs value, and the rate can vary depending on the type of product.
So she got stuck because this is happening quite a lot at this hour. It's very intensely used. So custom value is 88 euros, custom duty 2.7%, approximately to 38 euros. Total before VAT is 90 euros and VAT 21% of 90 euros, approximately 98 euros. So total customs and VAT to pay, it's approximately 21 euro. So imagine I get this product that is much more expensive, and then I also have to pay 21 euro. So this would be the additional cost you will need to pay to Dutch customs before receiving your yoga mat. And this is concerning because then it's gonna be quite expensive, yeah? So let's say 60 euro with 28, it's already 30, so you're gonna have to pay around 110 euro for a yoga mat. That's insane. Let's look on the site. So yeah, you can find yoga mat sticky. It's a yoga mat, apparently. They are between 34 and 40. And Tunturi, which is a company that is used a lot in the Netherlands, very simple, and they are also soft, and we quite use a lot of devices, right, for sporting devices and so on. It's like 20 euro, shipping 5 euro. So your yoga mat or your design or your bloody marketing has to be on spot to sell something like this in the Netherlands. And that's why if I look at all this, even Zalando, which we buy a lot in the Netherlands, it's around 35 euro. What I see like much more expensive are, do I see something at 100 euro? Gymshark has for 40 euro plus shipping 5 euro. Imagine. Lululemon has a discount right now with free shipping, actually. It's 108 euro. Let's see, I found a yoga shop, NL, and they have all kind of yoga mats here. Let's see, Ale yoga mat and Diki yoga mat. And let's see, do we find design yoga mat? And maybe this is the one that, yeah, 40 euro. Look at this, they're not so expensive. So how do I justify my price? You guys tell me. I cannot sell this in Europe. So either, yeah, it's just not doable. And no one's gonna buy a yoga mat from me. But yeah, tell me, what do you think? I really like the yoga mat and it's nice, but if I yoga this yoga mats, yeah, I don't know, guys. It would be insane price. So just the product itself, already Printful is selling like I would buy something online even cheaper, right? Yeah, Eco yoga mat, and let's see here, 39. So this is already a bit more. Would you buy a yoga mat like this? Would you buy my yoga mats? Like, let's see my yoga mats here. This is insane. No one's gonna buy my product, hey guys. So let's just close it. I have this one, it's really cute. $34.95. And imagine this is without the tax and without all the customs and the transport. So even if you have a store that sells yoga mat products, maybe you can buy them cheaper from the Gymshark and just sell them in your under license or something, you know. But yeah. So how would you consider the yoga mats then to sell them in Europe if they're coming from US? I think this is a very high price to pay here, and I believe you have to offer personalization, which again might take even longer. I'm still torn about the price versus the quality, because we do have these in Europe, and I don't even see also the way I would design it for the mother and the child. Also, if I would give them to the hospital as a gift, would be such an expensive thing to do. I'm just torn. I'm really torn for this item because I do like it very much, but how can we make it cheaper for Europe? Because I think paying the price of custom, it's double the worth, in my opinion. So I think this is not an item that I would personally buy, and many people say just we want to make money, we don't care. I do care, and I do care about all my customers, and if I wouldn't buy this, why do I make you buy it? So it's not that I wouldn't buy it personally because I design it. You buy this once, you don't buy it every day. Can it be perceived like a high item, like a premium gift for someone that does yoga? Yes, probably, but if there you want to sell to some events and they can buy as package, I really cannot think around some special design, like for gaming. Maybe if we can have some licenses with well-known games, that would also work, because Etegora is all about balancing the outdoors with the tech activities inside the house. Yeah, do you sell yoga mats from Printful? What do you think about the pricing? For me, because I'm living in the Netherlands and we do look at pricing, quality and utility, then it doesn't align. And I don't think, even if I would have a pop-up shop, that anybody would pay €110 on my huge desk mat, let's say. I'm gonna add the 5 design I made on the store, and I'm curious if I'm gonna sell anything. So the orange one on top is my regular yoga mat, which is very old. I have it since I'm in the Netherlands, I think for 7 years. Of course I love orange, as you see. The color is all about orange, yeah. Legendary, guys, legendary. But anyway, you can see it's very old. It suffered some. Is it a stick? No, it's double, but it's foam. This is completely foam. There is no design on it. I think I bought like for €5 or something like that. So imagine I have it for so long. It does the job. It's just annoying was always with these sides. So the softer you have or more malleable, it's very light to wear, but in the same time, yeah, this is what you get. So the question is to you, how much do you want to spend on a yoga mat? And it has to just do the job that you're on the floor, and yeah. How do you justify your price in the end? What's the goal? What is your yoga mat for so much money? €100 worth it? If you have a child and you let him draw your stuff, or I don't know, something very customizable, maybe it would be worth it. But otherwise, I really cannot justify such a price. I start to think like Dutch people. Quality versus usage versus the value. Who would buy such a yoga mat? Really? Who would buy?